Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, depending on where you're at. Welcome to the one and only Rum Boys Fantasy Network. I am your host. It's your boy, the Admiral, Rum Boys Robbie, and I am joined by my esteemed co-host, representing the Rum Boys Combat Division over on rumboys.com, ladies and gentlemen, Jake, Rum Boys Combat. What is good, bro?
Everything, man, everything. I got a nice day off at work today, so energetic and ready to go.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I'm back here during this intro, making up a mixed drink here.
Nice cocktail.
Yeah, getting it started. That's a lot of rum in this.
That's what I
Getting
said.
it
Make
getting
the
it started
cocktail.
here. Yeah, mixed drink. I also got a IPA back here. We'll see if we're gonna need both of them though. We'll see if we need both of them for today's show. We have a jam-packed show for you guys today, ladies and gentlemen. We got some NBA pick'ems that we're going to be covering, getting you guys taken care of, and wrapping up the first round of the Western Conference playoffs. We have a action-packed month in UFC. I was taking a look at the UFC fight docket, the fight schedule, and we have a lot to cover there. We'll touch on some UFC a little bit for you guys. Of course, we'll be coming live to you guys week by week with each and every fight as well. And we also have some big news coming out of NFL training camp. But first things first, we do got to take care of some simple housekeeping. Ladies and gentlemen, do remember that right now during this broadcast, we are live over on sportscaster.com as well. If you guys have not downloaded the Sportscaster app on all Apple iOS devices, I suggest you do so. You guys could check out the Rum Boys. You could check out the Black Play by Play Fund. You could check out Yard Barker. A lot of different sports analysts are over there. Clutch Points are over there. They do some software engineering work over there. A lot of different analysts. If you guys run a podcast, I highly recommend adding a live streaming aspect to your podcast over on sportscaster.com and through the Sportscaster app. Jake, talk to him about Monkey Knife Fight, bro.
Do you miss the feeling of winning cold, hard cash off of the daily fantasy sports that you know and love? Well, then head over to monkeyknifefight.com and get in on the action now and use promo code RUMBOYS with the Z for a match on your first deposit up to $50. It ain't rocket science. MKF has legal online sports games that are fun and easy to play, so sign up and use promo code RUMBOYS today and start winning money.
Hell yes, hell yes. Also for you guys, if you so that's for all your daily fantasy needs over there on monkeyknifefight.com. If you're into sports books, you're into online casinos, you're more so of the gambler, not necessarily a daily fantasy player, then head on over to sportsbetmvp.ag and be sure to use promo code RUMMVP. Again, that is promo code RUMMVP, like you guys see on the screen below here. Go ahead and check us out on sportsbetmvp.ag. Sign up today, start winning. They also deposit not just in cold hard cash, but they can also get your money to you in Bitcoin as well for all you crypto guys out there. Your very first bet is $25 is risk free. So what do you have to lose whenever you sign up with promo code RUMMVP on sportsbetmvp.ag? Ladies and gentlemen, let's dive right into today's show. You already know how we got to do it. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the rum boys and girls, what it do. Dilly dilly. Mm. Oh yeah, I made that strong. I made that one real strong today, Jake. Diving into the first topic of today's show, we actually start off in your department. First, shout out to everyone in the chat. Immersive Sports Science, Leafs Defense, KM, what is good? What is good? I see you guys over here holding it down on the YouTube. WWE superstar Brock Lesnar is now a free agent following the expiration of his WWE contract. Do you see or even want to see Brock Lesnar return to MMA? And if so, what is it going to look like for Lesnar when he returns?
He will not come back. I don't think people want him to. He hinted before just to go back and sign the best deal in the history of pro wrestling, which is I work main event WrestleManias, nothing else, and I walk out with like $8 million. I work Saudi Arabia, and I walk out with 10. So it seems like he's really just trying to barter with other companies. I think he's more likely to talk to AEW than he is to WWE, and Vince won't let him leave. I don't think he'll ever go back to MMA. The fight
Mm.
was DC. That was the big name. And if I mean, what's going to bring him there? John Jones. John Jones doesn't want that fight. John Jones knows he'd win. It'd be a joke, and I think John Jones wants to fight for a real title. So that fight would be maybe in a year. Maybe he might defend the title if he beats Stipe or the Ngannou. But I mean, there's no reason for him to go to MMA. I don't think so.
I so this is one of those things where it's really just good for business, right? In terms of, I mean, Dana doesn't really need the money. The UFC, I feel, has plenty of stars right now, and stars that are a lot more legitimized than Lesnar. I am kind of tired of the whole back and forth between, especially with Lesnar. I
Fire
feel
his
like
agent though. He has a great agent because people actually
yeah,
believe he
Paul.
might go back. What's his real life agent? Is it Paul Heyman? It might be.
Yeah, Paul Heyman
That's
was
his
Brock
real life
Lesnar's
agent.
manager. Oh no,
That
now I guess Heyman's now with Roman Reigns.
well, no, I mean like his real life agent. Paul Heyman's his advocate in wrestling, right? That's
Yeah,
to do with the yeah. I don't know who manages him, but yeah, Brock's done this a million times. Every
exactly.
single
I
year,
mean,
he signs 1 year deals, hints to go back. He gets a new USADA, drops the second he signs with WWE, and he's back working 2 events a year. Good for him.
the let's see. I guess the person it is Heyman.
That's his real
It is.
life
I
manager.
guess
That's
that is
awesome.
his real life manager.
And his on screen. That's awesome.
That's fucking sick. That's at
No
least
way
that's
he's
what it,
leaving
when
the
I
company then.
Google it. Yeah,
No
at
way
least
he's
that's what.
leaving. That's awesome.
I just feel like he's done this. He's done this back and forth so many times that it's like, bro, you're old as shit. Just stay in wrestling. The injuries for him personally, just as an athlete, are a dime a dozen. Every
Diverticulitis, man. You lost an internal organ. How's that bad?
exactly,
Like,
exactly. So I'm not. I don't want to see him back in the UFC. I don't think that it helps the UFC in any way. It more so just helps Lesnar. And there's plenty of other ways that the guy can go and get some money. I mean, dude,
Lesnar
why
does
not
not
go
like getting
act?
hit.
He does not like getting hit. We saw that when he tried to fucking play for the Vikings. We saw that when he tried out for the Vikings, and that did not work. Dude, Lesnar, go act, bro. Go do
Go
what
in a
your
Rocky
buddies.
remake.
Yeah, go do what your buddies The Rock did. Go do what your buddies
Be Drago in a Rocky
Cena
remake,
and
please. I'd love to see that. He'd be the perfect remake for Drago in Rocky.
that that would be sick.
Or
Well, they
Drago's
did.
dad or something, or Drago's
Yeah,
son.
they already did that. They already did the Drago one with
Yeah.
Creed. So I guess
Uh-huh.
they would have to do like what Tommy Gun. Like he could be Tommy Gun's son.
Yeah. The dude has such an
Shit.
80s look, man. If you have any 80s action film, just hire Brock.
Exactly. Typecast Brock Lesnar. It's super simple, super easy. That's your next business move, Brock Lesnar. Um, let's see here. Uh, September does have a huge list of fights, including everything. It's gonna pretty much wrap up with Adesanya Costa being the main card, but you have Overeem fighting this week. I believe Santos Teixeira the following week
Waterson,
after.
Hill as well. This
Exactly.
weekend.
So I mean, what are you thinking for these fights coming up? I mean, it's a huge. What are you looking forward the most before the big
Oh
pay per
gosh,
view? Of
easy.
course, you're looking
Colby
forward.
Covington, Tyron Woodley.
So I gotta
Please.
ask. I gotta ask. Being that you just brought up Kobe Covington, how do you feel about his most recent statements towards one Ohio great son, LeBron James?
I genuinely kind of agree with that in a way, because, and
Oh, come on, Jake.
I do, because his situation is LeBron. You're doing this, promoting this movement, which is fine, but you're ignoring the movement that is going on in China that's helped making you money. So we get it's your business thing, but you can't go both ways. You got to go. China's not doing right to the Uyghur Muslims. I don't want your
Yeah,
money.
I
You
mean,
got to
there's
go both.
that. There,
You got to go
there's
all
that.
in,
But then
or don't go at all. That's my
my
opinion.
thing is my thing
So
is with that. My thing is with that is if you're gonna call someone out, you better be making sure that you're doing the exact same thing that you're going to call them out for. Kobe Covington, you would not fucking walk down to your recruiter's office and enlist in the United States Armed Forces. I don't give a damn which branch you choose. You would not ride out on a deployment with me. I promise you, at the first sight of firefights, you are going to shit yourself. So I mean, that I'm just saying, you
Well,
can't call anyone out and tell them to go and do something and join a force and put on a uniform when you don't do it. It's just hypocritical. I just feel like he was just trying too busy to be a heel for the UFC
well,
and given this time, and it's not the right time to do
I
it.
think his greater point is, and it is showing in ratings. It really is. When you're losing 40% of the audience and you're the only sport on when you usually have competition, something is getting in the way of viewership. Uh, I mean, the NBA decided. I decided not to watch it because I think they're hypocritical. You know that with China, and I'm not watching for that reason. And I'm one of the people. I don't care what the NBA is doing. Just go all in, support, and that's my thing with it. Some people just don't want politics in sports. They don't watch it. I mean, he has a point that people don't want to see it from their athletes. They want to get away from it. That's Fox, CNN, whatever. But if the league chooses to do it, that's fine. I mean,
Yeah, exactly,
I mean,
exactly. I mean,
but he's right that it's hurting ratings. I mean, I could.
I don't care if ratings hurt.
No, if the league doesn't care, why do I care?
Yeah, I
That's
mean, we live in a society and in a world in 2020 where we're hurt. Um, I'm excited for Colbyton Woodley. Woodley, I have never really gone for you before, but I promise you,
Woodley
not
is gonna get
this.
killed.
I want you to fucking demolish Kobe Covington. I want you to wreck Kobe Covington. I know that you won't, but I want you to fucking pick Kobe Covington apart because that is America's little baby godson, and I would love to see just America cry, just like
So
oh man.
you're saying Askren's best friend that agrees with him on absolutely everything is the person you're rooting for once.
I'm rooting for Woodley for once.
Yep.
Yeah,
No. Yeah.
I know, I know.
You
It's
know
a
Ben
shock.
Askren is too. You know Ben Askren is too. He can't. No, but I mean the political side of that whole thing is like I get it. My issue is that you're not going all in and supporting other people who are trying to fight for freedom or legit freedom and not getting their organs harvested. His is people don't want to see it. I think both their sides are acceptable, and I think both of our sides have valid proof. And I think the NBA has a right to do what they want to do. If they're going to sacrifice ratings, that's fine. I mean, I'm not watching it. I'm not affected by not seeing it. That's my personal opinion.
Exactly.
Is that
Nine
a fair
times out of
take?
10, nine times out of 10 in regards to that, if you're not watching now, you probably weren't watching like really before. You maybe were loosely watching. Um, I don't know anyone that legitimately can watch a full fucking NBA season like and catch every single game.
You
Like I
can
know
watch
a
a whole
few.
NBA game. Let's be real.
Yeah,
Sixers
yeah.
in the fourth quarter when I cared in like a game 6 or 7. Like
Exactly. You know it, but I don't know anyone that is full on like they need fucking league pass. They're sitting down every day watching every single game. So I mean, the ratings thing with the NBA, I mean that's kind of whatever. And they're also like a globalized sport, so
ratings are down 50% since 2013.
they'll
For
live.
I mean,
They'll live. I mean, people
you
also aren't
so
watching because it's a bubble. There's no fans. There's a multiple fucking two to
yeah.
reasons.
But I mean, the NBA ratings have been going down, and I think this is definitely increasing it. But the ratings in the NBA peaked in like 2011, you could say worldwide, and
Yeah,
they've just gone down. And the NBA's definitely hit its peak when people think it passed the NFL. No, it will not ever. It's never going to pass the NFL.
it's going to be interesting because I mean the NFL is going to be doing a lot of the same things in regards to social justice. The MLB has done it; they have been doing it. Um, I think it's kind of one of those things where like when we see everyone doing it, it really starts to make you question. Okay, clearly this is something that is a problem and does need to change. I know that you were mentioning China. You got to change yourself before you can look at the rest of the world and try and change the rest of the world. We got to change ourselves before we could change the world. That's coming from me. Having worked in activism, having been a community activist. So I mean, I think that that's what America's approach just overall in general with that whole situation, that whole thing is we ain't even got our own shit right. How we about to try and tell somebody else how to get their shit right?
Yeah, that's my thing with like I'm not gonna support any like that organization or activist because I don't know exactly like the legislation you want to pass or anybody wants to pass in this. Like, get a national uniform bill you want to pass, and then people can support it or not. Like, I don't know what the motion is. I don't know what bill is gonna be put in front of the Senate. I don't know. Like, that's my approach. Is like just wait until they put an official bill of this is how you're gonna handle situations in law enforcement. And do that, and I'd be like, okay, I agree or not. But not until then, it's like I don't know. I'm not gonna have an opinion on it because I don't know what they're actually trying to change or what their goal is.
Oh, then you'll love what the Ravens did because we discussed it last week on Rum Boys After Dark about how the Ravens they actually set up legislation to make reform
Do
in their
that. Let people vote.
city.
If it passes, great. If it doesn't pass, try again. Like, but
Yep.
put a bill out. See what happens. Don't break stuff. It doesn't work.
Yep, that's what we did here in Colorado Springs. I helped pass the
Oh
bill
yeah, no, I agree. That's how it
and
should be done.
everything like that.
Make people vote on it, and if they agree, fine, awesome. If they don't, try again. But breaking stuff doesn't help anything.
Ah, I disagree. I completely disagree. Like, it may not help, but the voices of the oppressed are going to come out one way or another. Let's roll right into some football. Um, so the Washington football team. This story is very quite interesting, and we mentioned this, I believe, a couple of weeks ago. Um, and now the NFL is stepping in. Uh, Basically, what is it going to mean for Dan Schneider and the Washington football team now that the NFL is conducting their own probe, their own investigation into the team's sexual harassment cases? There was about, I want to say, about 13 women that came forward and stated that coaches and GMs would elicit them for favors, things of that nature, which is honestly just completely and totally wrong. But sounds like the typical rich scumbag thing that rich scumbags do. Um, how do you think that this could affect Dan Schneider? He did release a statement earlier today in regards to the situation. He's stating that he is happy that the league office is going to be conducting their own investigation versus trusting the team to do so. And he is fully confident, fully aware that the league will come out with the right results. What are your thoughts around this?
This was was like released 2011 and nothing happened, right?
Yep.
I
Yeah.
mean, so I don't think anything will happen now. Haslam still owns the Browns, and he's been in a federal court case for tax evasion forever. Like,
Holy fuck.
the dude got busted. I want to say 2011, and ever since, and has been going to court nonstop to try to get the case moved. But yeah, I mean, they've known about it. They've known about Haslam. They've known about a lot of these owners' social misdeeds in terms of hiring certain women. Yeah, I don't think it'll do anything, man. Really don't.
Uh,
I think it should, but I don't think the owners want to start this because some owners might have some dirt too. Some
oh
coaches
yeah.
might have some dirt, and they're like, "Hey, owner, let's not go through this." Some players might be like, "Yeah, well, something happened there too, and let's not get in trouble here." I think once it gets in there once, I think every team is gonna have some dirt on each other eventually, and
Oh yeah.
that's why I don't
Um,
think anything will happen now. It should happen, but I think there's so much dirt around the league that nothing will come of this because they know if one goes down, there's going to be a lot more bad information to come out.
Absolutely. I mean, the team itself already did their own third party investigation. Snyder's statement reads: Recently, the Washington football team launched an independent third party investigation into allegations about our culture and incidents of harassment. In conversations with Commissioner Goodell, Tanya and Tanya, or Tanya and I, Goodell, or Dan Schneider's wife, Tanya and I suggested the NFL assume full oversight of the investigation so that the results are thorough, complete, and trusted by the fans, the players, and our employees and the public. I appreciate Commissioner Goodell agreeing to our suggestion, and the entire Washington football team remains committed to fully cooperating with all aspects of the investigation.
Yep. There's some
So,
fans who saw some things. There's some players, coaches, and talent evaluators who've done some things, and are probably like, "Yep, that's good. Let's keep it like this. Let's not let anybody else come in here." That's
let's
my
just
opinion on it.
let's just let the league do this now.
Let's let
Not
our people do it. Please, we'll do an internal investigation because we don't want anybody else knowing what our players, coaches, and higher up staff have been doing. I think that's what honestly that sounds like to me.
it sounds like a very NFL Goodell thing.
Yeah, like let's not. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to have to know what your employees were doing.
Exactly, because Washington had hired their own third party. But it sounds like Goodell stepped in after conversations with Tanya and Dan Snyder.
Just like RG3 hired his own doctor to clear him.
Clear, yeah.
Like, oh yeah,
That
great.
like
We
like
trust you,
fuck.
man.
But that definitely helps out a whole lot. So I mean, with this situation, I don't think that I know what a lot of Washington football fans are wanting, what a lot of Redskins fans are wanting, and they're wanting for Dan Schneider to go. They're hoping that this is the way
Me too. Take
that
our owner
he's
too.
out.
Take Cleveland too, please.
Yeah, see,
But
see,
it won't happen. The owners know they can't snitch on each other.
exactly. It's that whole like we're all rich together, like we're all the 1%, so we got to protect each other together. That kind of deal. At the same time, I don't think that Schneider that this series of events is going to get Schneider fired. This isn't the series of events that's going to get him canned. Should it be a series of events that should get him canned? Absolutely. Like, yo, this happened underneath your leadership. Like, this happened underneath your ownership of your team, of your organization that you're supposed to have control over. You're supposed to be hiring people with integrity, hiring people that can do the job without having to feel the need to, I don't know, touch female employees. And not able to do so. So this should be an incident that gets Schneider fired. I don't think that it will because, well, it's a bunch of rich white men in a room together doing an investigation, and I'm gonna just be blatant as fuck about it. Like, when has anything ever happened
Yeah.
in society in regards to something seriously something that is super serious? Your parents teach you to keep your damn hands to yourself when you're a child.
Yeah.
Like, you know that you're not supposed to touch people, and you know what places are inappropriate for you to touch someone. You know, and this was cheerleaders that they were soliciting for these things and for these acts.
To foreign dignitaries or something weird.
Like, it was like it would be.
It was overseas trips, so I'm guessing foreign dignitaries and investors. That
Yeah,
just
it was a
sounded.
bunch of different shit. Like, and it would be like cruises and shit. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, crazy stuff, right? You know that this is wrong. You know that this is unethical. You, as a business owner, Mr. Schneider, know that it's wrong and unethical. And the fact that you have not just removed yourself shows your own personal moral compass. It shows just how selfish you are. You have money, bro. You don't need to own a team.
Well, this also would set a precedent for everyone involved in the NFL because they're all employees. I think players, owners, and GMs, with these allegations,
Mm,
would all have to be held to the same standard. If you remove Daniel Snyder, any player who gets accused would have to be removed from the league. And that's the hard
this,
part where, like, it would be a whole league wide thing where even if Darius Geis
but
was a
that does
superstar
happen.
player, um, well, sometimes
Look
they
at
get
Ray. Look,
signed.
look at Ray Rice. Ray Rice
Well,
knocked out his
that's the
wife
big
in an
one. But
elevator.
he was the
Like,
dude that got signed afterwards, though, and played, and it was cleared for the Redskins
uh,
actually last year.
Reuben Foster.
Yeah, and if you do the standard, anybody who ever gets accused, or if there's accusations, if their name in it, would be banned from the league forever
Yeah,
because you removed
I,
him. Because
I feel
that's
like
the
this is
thing.
gonna. I feel like this is gonna turn out like the Robert Kraft situation, bro.
Yeah,
I feel like this is gonna be, bro. You definitely went to that massage parlor to get rub and tug. You definitely got rub and tugged, and you clearly bought your way out of that investigation. Like, Jupiter, Florida, like that police department. Once they're gunning for you, they're gunning for you.
well, I don't think
And
they let it even get to investigation. I think
yeah,
he,
exactly. Yeah, I think he paid his way out of it.
but yeah, I mean, if you set owners and players are held to the same standard, so like if you would say, okay, this has been an accusation and there's no formal charges, it's like, well, Zeke was accused. Like it's that type of thing where it's like, okay, you have to teach the same players something. Like that's what it's going to be hard for them, and that's why I think nothing will happen because they all represent the NFL, and Goodell has to treat the players and owners the same. So any accusation from them would go to the players, and that would get the player cut as
This
well.
is a classic. This is a classic case of.
Do you do it for everybody, or do you keep it hidden for everybody? And I don't know. I'm thinking they're going to keep it hidden from everybody. Not going to lie.
This is a classic case of something should be done, but there are people with too much money and too much power that this situation we're probably will be years before any of the victims will see justice. And it's unfortunate. It's gross. It is nasty. It is fucked up. It is vile. Me as a father of a daughter, you touch my kid, I'm probably going to put two in the chest and one in the head. And that's the way I feel like we just got to start solving problems like this from here on out. But it sucks. These people have money. The NFL is going to be taking over the investigation. We'll see what the NFL finds during this investigation. To all the fans that want Dan Snyder gone, I want Dan Snyder gone as well. I feel like this should be the incident because it happened underneath his leadership that should remove him. But fuck it, guys. We'll see how it all plays out. Let's see here. Our next topic, bro. So this topic here, this contract situation, I don't blame this team for this, okay? The Cincinnati Bengals and running back Joe Mixon reached an agreement on a 4-year contract extension that ties him to Cincinnati for 5 more seasons per source. They're still going over the language to finalize the deal. I was hearing something around a total of like 48 mil. Or 48 over. Yeah, it'll be like a total of 48 mil over the 4 seasons or the 5 years and 4 seasons. You're out there in Ohio. What are your thoughts surrounding this? We all know how I feel about Mixon, but I'll let you start first.
Okay, so I'm on the different side. So I'm like, 4.5, 5 hours away from Cincinnati. I'm like a mile from the pay line. But I understand people saying this is not a bad contract because by the time Mixon's prime and contract is up, you're ready to pay Burrow if he's good, if he's a decent quarterback.
True.
So you're not really killing your books to pay other people right now. And that is the only reason I think this is an okay contract. I still will say don't pay running backs. Sorry, the prime position of the NFL in the 70s and 80s and early 90s, don't pay them. You don't need to.
What's even more interesting, Jake? What's even more interesting, if you don't mind me throwing in some numbers there. Derrick Henry, 12 and a half million.
Throw the numbers in, please. Yeah, make me sound right.
Derrick Henry, 12 and a half million per year. Christian McCaffrey, 16 million. I'm having a feeling that this Mixon contract is going to be 13, 14.
Ridiculous. I don't pay running backs, dude. I just want to do it. There's too many good ones. Too many guys who get drafted.
I feel that I feel like it's replaceable.
2 positions you never pay: middle linebacker and running backs. You don't need them anymore. Everything's nickel. So it sucks, but that's how it goes.
I feel like.
But good for him, man. He cashed in Cincinnati, and Cincinnati deserves props. They keep and pay their players all the time. Their players.
Oh yeah.
And they never complain. AJ Green's not complaining to leave. They say he is, but he could have forced his way out if he wanted to. And
AJ Green wants out. Like I feel like AJ Green wants out, but Cincinnati's like, nah, dude.
He didn't have to sign that contract though. He had 2 big contracts, and he stayed because they paid him.
He did not. Andy Dalton was there forever. Boomer Esiason was there forever.
And people are saying, get him to a winner. They don't owe him a thing. They're paying him a lot of money to not play football because he's hurt. And they give him all guarantees, so good for him. And he can't complain.
They rock with John Kitna for how many seasons? So, I mean...
A 38-year-old John Kitna.
Yeah, so, I mean...
That was the Cowboys when Romo got hurt.
Oh, yeah.
33. He was like 33 when they paid Kitna. And then they brought Dalton in, and then 2011, I think.
Yeah, something like that. We're old. Oh, I'm old. The way I feel about this
I remember it, so that kind of says something about it. John Kitna on Thanksgiving was a thing for a while on the Lions and Cowboys.
Yeah.
It was kind of hilarious. He was like
It was fucking hilarious. Because Cincinnati fans were probably like, "What the hell? This looks weird." They probably couldn't get used to it for a hot minute. Look, this guy runs behind the worst offensive line in the National Football League.
I hate you have to say that because I know Billy Price. So this thing.
Oh,
He's
I'm
like from another high school, and my friend was his best friend to them. So
I'm so sorry.
hey, man, the dude keeps breaking his ankle. I can't defend it. If you break your ankle back to back years, it's probably not a good thing.
No, their linemen always get hurt. I mean, for me, if if I'm the Bengals, does the signing make sense? Is it sensible? Absolutely. You got this is a franchise that historically does pay their players. It does try and keep their staple guys. On 278 attempts, he did run for 1,137 yards. He had 5 TDs. Again, those stats come behind the worst line in football, averaged 4.1 yards per carry. Uh, I he didn't fumble. He didn't fumble at all last season. Like he's only fumbled 3 times in his whole entire career. Um, Drafted in 2017. I'm not mad at the contract. I'm not mad that you paid him.
I mean, who on that roster do you see on the team that you have to pay in 5 years?
You have to pay. You're going to have to pay Jonah Williams, the lineman. You're going to have to pay Jonah. If Jonah can pay, if Jonah can
and
play
his
well,
contract will be up after that 5 years, and you're going to have to hopefully pay Burrow.
Yep, you're going to have to pay Burrow.
If he's an average quarterback, you're going to pay the dude money because average quarterbacks get paid $30 million now.
You're going to pay T. Higgins during that 5-year span. You're going to have to restructure Tyler Boyd or either move him.
You're going to pay John Ross. Kidding.
You're not going to pay John.
Kidding.
Fuck. John Ross, such the biggest NFL buzz. I was so excited when he got drafted. I was like,
he was drafted so early. And he signed that big deal for like $6 million. He might get $1 million per game with how healthy he stays and how much he plays.
And never catches shit.
Doesn't play, doesn't catch football.
John Ross couldn't even catch coronavirus at this damn point. But no, I mean, it's a good deal for Mixon. But when I look at Mixon getting signed, in counter to some of the other things that we're going to talk about later in the show, Kamara, Fournette, that kind of irks me because I don't think that you're better than Kamara. You're right in that same category as Fournette.
Well, okay, next topic. Let's go to the Kamara topic, actually, since you brought it up.
Yeah, we'll go right into Kamara talk,
so
dude.
You gotta change order up here. I think Mixon's a lot more important and would do better in Cincinnati than Alvin Kamara would by far. Just how he plays the game. I think he's a better back for that system, and I think a back like Kamara is good in the system he's in.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you can easily replace most of that production with the quarterback and system you have there in Sean Payton. So Kamara's numbers are more impressive, I think, overall. For sure they are. Last year, no, but overall, I think he's more deadly of a weapon in terms of on the field. But you can replace that skill set a lot easier than a workhorse back. So it's harder for me to say Kamara getting big money. It makes sense because I'm like, I don't know if he's a traditional back. And he's kind of a really, really good gadget guy that was on a system that gave him the ball in space as a gadget guy. And it worked.
For everyone that's wondering, because we kind of just moved right into the Kamara topic. Alvin Kamara has missed training camp the last 3 days.
They're shopping him too, and they think there's somebody. They're a coach said, I think, that we have guys that could replace him. He's not that. We have guys that can do what he could do just as well. So
yeah,
and they want to get rid of him because I'm not saying that. I'm not pulling Kevin Garnett and saying someone's this in the locker room. Try to get away with it, but he is bad in the locker room, and you can replace his skill set pretty quickly in the NFL. So if he's complaining, get rid of him.
Nah, I
And
wanna,
what,
I
you got him
wanna.
for a third or fourth round pick? You can't get a third or fourth round pick for Kamara. Just
Yeah, he
keep
was
your
a.
value and get out of there.
Yeah, he was a third. He was a third round guy. Um,
And never had a
Kamara.
1,000-yard season. So he's Reggie Bush on steroids, basically. But
Yeah,
used more. I think Reggie Bush could have had the career Kamara had if they used him properly.
I want to look at a couple of things in regards to Kamara. First off, Kamara worked behind Mark Ingram the year that he really blew up and exploded onto the scene.
Which was his rookie year, by the way.
Exactly. Um, and I'm sorry. Then last year, he dealt with a little bit of injuries. He was perfectly fine in 2018. 2018 was the season that if you had Alvin Kamara in fantasy, you were fucking happy. You were hyped.
And you probably took him in Dynasty later and are like, what did I do?
Exactly. On 171 attempts, 797 yards, almost at the 800 mark. Wasn't a 1,000-yard rusher last year, but he did play a big role in the passing game, nonetheless. But I was also a guy that had Kamara last year. Okay. First off, really quick, he's always had about 81 catches on about 100 targets.
Those little pop passes too.
Yeah.
He's just he feels pressure. He's first down and 10. I'll take 4 yards first play. Here you go. Make him miss and get at the field. So
he is a PPR like god for
100%.
you, right? But when you look at his counterpart, Latavius Murray last year, who came in last year, only played a handful of games, right? Who as a 6th round pick, and I mean I get that Latavius Murray has been in the league forever and old as hell, but on 146 attempts, he had 637 yards. Bro, you had less attempts than Kamara, and you almost were in that same yardage range,
Yeah.
Do I think that they could rock with Latavius Murray, and Ty Montgomery back there and like they'd be fine? Possibly.
You have Drew Brees. You don't need to run the ball reasonably. You can find somebody and put them in space. You can put a receiver there. A lot of these guys' production comes from getting the ball in space, making somebody miss. And you can put somebody there and do that job. And Kamara is one of those guys. I think he is a less, I don't want to say he's not tough, but he is a more one-dimensional Brian Westbrook in an era that does not have a one-back system to get him the carries and production to get him paid.
I think that so when I went on air about this yesterday, when I went live about this or uploaded the video yesterday about Alvin Kamara's contract dispute, which you guys should go check it out. That video is popping right now. Appreciate everybody for the views on the Alvin Kamara topic. I said that I see these two coming to an agreement. Now, before you and I went on air, you had just broke the news, yes, that the Saints are shopping him. Alvin Kamara's agent, as of about 30 minutes ago, about 20, 30 minutes or so ago, did come out and state, Kamara and his agent came out to state, we don't want to be traded.
No, they don't. No one's going to give them the touches, yeah.
Exactly. They have stated we are, and they have stated this is not a holdout.
I state my sources as well, just because professionalism and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a channel most people don't like, probably from this viewership, but they just kind of state facts. Sports Wars.
Sports Wars.
Yes. Green logo. Yeah.
See, I just use.
That's where I saw it, and that's where I saw it. So then I'm just gonna say that now.
Yeah, I got
fair.
I got the sleeper app. I got the sleeper app.
Yeah, I don't know who broke it first, but that's where I saw it, and it was maybe I think it was Outkick or something originally, but whatever.
Yeah, but up to about 20 minutes ago, per Kamara and his agent, this is verbatim. They thought they were actively negotiating and making progress on an extension. Kamara has never threatened a holdout and has been in the building every day. So these absences, they may be field absences. He's still in the fucking building. Right. He's still in the weight room. He's still doing shit.
Yeah.
So I think the Saints are doing this as kind of a listen here, get your ass back out there on the field. You got 1 year left. Let's restructure after this year.
Yeah.
They do also have to restructure Ryan Rich or whatever fuck his name is. I can't say his last name. Rajcek.
Roshchek. Yeah, I
I
think
can't say it.
Raj Shrek
Demario
or
Davis.
something. It's like Shrek or Shrek
Yeah,
or something. Yeah.
but they got to restructure Demario Davis and Lattimore. All right, so you got two defensive pieces that you got to restructure, plus an offensive lineman. I think they're going to figure out first how those contracts play out, and then they will work on
Yeah.
Kamara. Or either this shows to me that, bro, we were going to shop you eventually anyways.
Yeah. I don't know if he refused to practice in pads or any physical activity outside of that weight room, but it sounds like it, and I don't think he has leverage to. I mean, the Browns had Nick Chubb running the ball 3 straight times at the red zone to work on the red zone thing, and they just said full speed, hit him, go.
Yep.
So if Nick Chubb is being used like that in practice with a backup like Kareem Hunt, Kamara has no room to say no. I want to save my body. I don't want to get hurt. I want to get ready for the contract year.
Yeah,
I
dude,
mean,
toughen the hell up. You're a
yeah,
football player. Um, I have no problems with players holding out. With
but do it
Kamara's
right. Just
situation,
say you're not showing up. Don't
yeah,
don't go just to negotiate and not practice because then you don't deserve it. If I'm a GM, I'm not speaking to a guy that won't practice with his teammates. Hold out. You didn't have to play this year. We said you had a date. Hold out. Don't come. We'll figure it out later, right?
yeah,
And you showed up just to negotiate. And we're like, you're not part of our team unless you're practicing with the teammates that you want to be on the field with this year.
yeah. 2021 free agency is going to be insane with running backs. If I'm Kamara, let's just ride out this deal.
It's tough too though because I don't want to say he's brittle because he doesn't miss a lot of games in terms of serious injury, but he definitely slows down. He's kind of like that a jet engine type thing. So
oh yeah,
it's tougher because his production will just go down and his body type will just break down as he ages. His prime might have been his rookie year physically. So
exactly
I understand his side, but you don't have the leverage. It's not gonna work.
He's doing the right thing by asking for money or trying to negotiate to get it.
But how does the teammates feel seeing this guy's not even coming out here because he wants to negotiate, and we're also in contract years? It's like, why isn't he here? It's not good for anybody involved. Like
that's a dynamic that every team goes through and every team faces. But you at the end of the day, you do have these certain guys
because he could have opted out and not played. Period.
Okay, let's take last year. Let's take last year for example. Two very different holdouts, which I compared Kamara's holdout to these guys last year. Okay, and I said that his holdout could end up being a hybrid of the two. You take Melvin Gordon's holdout, which resulted in
terrible.
You
got replaced. You got fired. This guy produced you.
Exactly, because Melvin Gordon thought that I'm the shit, I'm untouchable. Eckler and Justin Jackson ain't touching me, and then Eckler came in and was like, "Bro, give me that 24 milli." Like
they pay you before you come back. That was so great. And
exactly.
They made him a backup on his own team, holding out. Which hey, good props on them because this guy balled out. It's like hey,
yeah. Eckler definitely earned it, and Eckler's going to be the guy there.
Injury, Michael Bisping steps in for a title fight, takes the title, because he was ready. This guy was ready to take your spot. So,
that's what happens. If I'm Kamara, I'm looking at the running back room. I know that there's no one there that they're going to pay ahead of me, so I know that the Melvin Gordon situation is going to happen. But at the same time, I don't want them to move me to a different team to where I'm not going to get the same touches. I'm not going to get the same production. I don't know what my future may look like, i.e. Melvin Gordon. But then let's take Zeke, for example. And the holdout with Zeke, the Cowboys knew hands down, we need you. Even though we just drafted Tony Pollard, we need your skill set as a between the tackles type of runner, as a hit stick type of guy on the outside run, because that's what you can do. Pollard is a different skill set, a different type of player. Kamara, you have a great skill set and a unique skill set, but it is not a skill set that can be done without. Teams can do without it.
His skill set is unique in how he does it, but a lot of guys can do it a different way and be just as effective.
Exactly.
And that's the problem. He's flashy, but guys can be just as effective without being flashy.
Exactly. And so I worry for him if he goes to a different team. If I am Kamara, I'm probably backing down out of this whole situation. I'm not trying to play hardball with the Saints organization.
I mean, I don't see how he has any leverage, man.
No.
I mean, you can't say as a player, if there's a guy that should hold out and not play this year or demand a new contract, it's Nick Chubb with the production and what he's done for the team. Second round pick, dominated for 2 years, took over his spot. I'm sorry, that is very loud. My cat's doing.
That's all good.
But he dominated, and he could say, I had 2 years, you loaded me up with carries, pay me. It's time. You took 3 years off my career in 2 years by using my back and having me carry this rushing game. And now we have a backup, and you're going to try to replace me because you're going to try to get Hunt in there and split carries and devalue me. He's the guy that should hold out. A guy that was never the main back in a system is not going to get the leverage. Chubb has been the backbone, and you can't say the backbone left, so you pay me that money now. When another backbone comes in and takes that job from you, and it's like, well, you were never really a starter per se.
Do you foresee possibly? Do you see this going south between the two, or do you think that they're gonna reconcile and gonna be like, you know what?
I think they could ignore what Kamara says and be like, we can replace you. We can send you somewhere that won't use you the same way we do. And if you want to leave, that's fine. But your value and production will not be any better anywhere else right now. So if you want to leave, we can arrange that later. But you're not going to get the touches you will here. So
yeah, like when I'm hearing people talk about,
we'll even give you that last year and let you walk. But if you play this year here, you're better off than playing anywhere else right now.
Like, and when I'm hearing people talk about like best landing spots for him,
the Saints, and that's the tough part.
Yeah, like I'm like, yo, you just better stay where you're at, because like when it gets scary when you scroll through Twitter and people are talking about this topic and they're like, send him to Washington. They have running backs to trade for him. Like I'm like, fuck, please don't come here, because like we don't know what we're doing. We don't have an identity yet, really. Like, so it's like, can we get an identity first?
Ron Rivera ran Mike Tolbert.
Yeah.
You want him dealing with Scatback? I'm sorry to call him a Scatback. That's very offensive to running backs, apparently.
Yeah, that is very offensive to running back.
But I think most of the league is Scatbacks now. And they're just interchangeable in a weird way where some guys are just that main guy. So,
Miami
he had big-bodied backs, and I don't think – I know that he valued – last year what McCaffrey brought. I don't think he could use McCaffrey the proper way with modern NFL. I think Rule can. Like, I don't think the Washington can do it. I don't think Texans will. You have a mobile quarterback. They're like, the Saints are the place for him. And
Miami. What about Miami though? Like, what about Miami? There's just too much new going on in Miami. I don't know if I'm bringing him in. There's just too much. There's too much new. I don't know if I want more new.
Yeah, and I don't think Flores wants to deal with a guy that was unhappy where he's at.
I don't think that he was unhappy. I don't think that he was unhappy. I don't think that Kamara is unhappy.
No, I think he wants to get his contract fixed in his mind, where he's getting paid what he wants. But I think the issue there is sending a winning player to a losing team that's rebuilding usually doesn't end well.
Never. Never.
And I like Flores. I like Patricia. I like that, like, they're building their own culture. But sending a good relative veteran player that's been on winning teams to those losing situations, it doesn't work out well usually.
I could dig that. I'm with that shit. Okay, so from fantasy standpoint, go and get Latavius Murray if need be.
And I would also not be hesitant to keep Kamara where he's at if you're drafting later. I think he's going to be on the Saints, and I don't think he's going to have much leverage.
No, yeah.
I don't think he ever had any leverage. I don't think he'll get any more now. So
yeah, the second that him and his agent were like, hold the fuck up, like with the Saints, because the reports happened back to back. It was We're shopping Alvin Kamara. We're willing to trade him. And in literally 30 minutes, it was like, hold the fuck up. Hold the phone. We don't want this yet.
You don't
so
need that.
No, I'm still gonna go with what I said yesterday. I think that it'll be fine. Let's talk about another running back situation here. Actually, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go into halftime really quick. Jake, let's do halftime really quick, guys. I'm gonna throw on throw on a jam for y'all really quick. I'm gonna take a piss break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about another running back situation, and then we got a couple more topics for you guys. Some funny ass topics too. One of them specifically. But this is the Rum Boys Fantasy Network. Yo, why fucking connect Bluetooth? I'm having technical difficulties.
Dude, my car should memorize my phone by now, and every other time I have to reconnect it.
Bro, it's just the freaking Google Home that likes to give me issues, bro. Like I hate this
You use
thing.
Google, man? I would risk that.
It's
use Brave browser. It's encrypted. They can't track your data.
It's my girls.
Yeah, I only use Google for Gmail for some more things, but
yeah, Gmail's the shit. Alrighty, we're gonna roll into halftime. I'm gonna get a music. I'm gonna get that. Fuck.
Get some tracks on.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw on a track for you guys. Stay tuned here. We're gonna dive into the second half of the show momentarily. Dilly dilly.
Remember when the world went crazy. Now all they wanna do is just pay, man. Up early in the morning, not lazy. I heard shining like a domino for gazing. I remember when the world went crazy. Now all they wanna do is just pay, man. Up early in the morning, not lazy. I heard shining like a domino for gazing. I get the bag, they can't stand me. Hit them up with the voice raspy. Used to me like smoothly. Real sultry, spewing his poetry. Moving his poultry. What else? Went from grams to OCs. Half slabs to half things. Now we pushing whole kids more. Like a goddamn piano man. They sleeping on us like Ambien. They tripping off us, need an Ativan. Y'all broke as a joke, and we the last. I remember when the world went crazy. Now all they wanna do is just pay, man. Up early in the morning, not lazy. I heard shining like a domino for gazing. I remember when the world went crazy. Now all they wanna do is just pay, man. Up early in the morning, not lazy. I heard shining like a domino for gazing. Hungry, the Hollywood with ribs touching. Humble, though loud as wolf chicken, distributor teeth folded. Not sure what wild card fate's holding, but the warm wax flows through the fist form, shake molded. When you do your best, there's no questions. Time only limits the creation process, but the final product flows with froth, infinite conviction. The best of the best for my family constituents. From project living to renovation to turnkey residence, speaking to existence. Reek of the split fish, but able to build canvas to upper echelon equipment. It all connects, lacerate the perimeter, center place. I remember when the world went crazy. Now all they wanna do is just pay, man. Up early in the morning, not lazy. I heard shining like a domino for gazing. I remember when the world went crazy. Now all they wanna do is just pay, man. Up early in the morning, not lazy. I heard shining like a domino for gazing.
I came in the door, I said it before. I never let the mic magnetize me no more. Where all my niggas at? Where all my bitches at? Throw your motherfucking hands in the air. We round low lows like we had a car show. We blowing big dro. They like Doja Cat. I got rims all black on the old school 08. Trilla made back like Ricky Rose. Trifecta, we
I don't know if you heard me drop my phone back there, but I did. All righty, y'all. So we are back here, second half here on the Rum Boys Fantasy Network. This is the Rum Report. We got you guys covered on all the greatest sports talk here on the Rum Boys Fantasy Network. Let's dive right into our next topic. We're going to continue talking about running backs here because, well, they just seem to be trendy this week. Running backs are really having a rough week. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they also released running back Leonard Fournette. No team, not a single fucking team out of 31 other teams, out of the 32 that are in the league, traded for the former first rounder. They had tried to trade him back in the spring and also over the summer, and no moves were to be made. Where does Leonard Fournette end up, and are the Jags clearly tanking for Trevor Lawrence?
Well, I can't say tanking because they have a quarterback that might, I'd say 40 has potential as a starter, 60 is a backup, I mean, I'm not going to say 50-50 yet, but he's kind of in that spot where you give him a chance. Undrafted guy, get some tape, he might fall apart, or he might be a quality football player like Romo was for a while. And I think if you're the Jags, you take that for some time. But in the end, I mean, you're not going to win with Fournette. He isn't the guy that a team would give up a first rounder for when they could draft one out of college. I mean, you're not going to find a team really give up a first for any running back, let alone a more traditional back who's learned to be a receiving back. Durability is an issue. He had some on-field issues before. And I'm not saying, like, off the field, like, he didn't like his teammates, which he was an issue.
Yeah, he was an issue there, yeah.
It was an issue there later. He had
But on the field,
a media blow up, but on the field, yes, you can't take yourself out of a football game. That's pretty inexcusable, and you can't get suspended the next game.
yeah, and he's done it. He's done it a few times where like he's gotten in trouble on the field.
Yeah, and that's undebatable. So I don't know if you're asking for a first, you're ridiculous. It's a running back that's had his issues. Maybe a fourth, a third. With the punishment he took in college and the injuries he's had, but I think he probably ends up on a winning situation on a team willing to give up a third or fourth, hoping they're going to have something for the future.
How
But I don't know if he'll be happy with what he gets paid when he gets re-upped.
How fucked would it be if New Orleans was just like, Leonard Fournette, come on down off the waivers, bro?
Think of a worse back to get to complement your 3-down power back. Like, let's get 2 power backs. This is great. This is going to work amazingly well for us. But yeah, I don't know. Whatever team needs a power back, an injury, honestly, at this point. I think they're going to run him to start the year. They probably can't find a trade partner, but eventually they're going to find someone they're going to have to trade for. And a team's going to lose a back, and they're going to have to get a 3-down power back, and that's where Fournette's going to end up.
This seems like I said this yesterday when I broke the news about this. This seems like a very Bill Belichickian thing to go ahead, like to take the Jags phone call and be like, nope, not interested. Clip, like hang up the phone, and then like now that he's on waivers, like a week or two later, be like, all right, Leonard, come on over to New England. Like I'm so expecting that to happen. I don't know where exactly Leonard Fournette could end up.
I'm going to coin something now. I used to call Alabama trash back U because none of them really transferred to the NFL. I think that's LSU at this point.
they both have the problem because they both.
So can we say LSU is kind of like the trash back university of like guys you think will be great and just not do anything?
They're fucking let down you when it comes to.
Oh my gosh, it's bad. Yeah,
I don't know where Leonard Fournette goes. In regards to the Jags, though, I think that this is a clear indication that they are tanking for Lawrence. And I think that it's a little early, first off, to be putting yourself in the tanking category and to be taking that.
Well, they're giving a quarterback a shot too. It's not like, oh, we're going to try to lose. We have a quarterback that we want to see if he can throw the ball a lot more and be efficient. So,
but even with a losing record, right? But let's say Minshew has the stats.
Yep.
Because of the record,
He
this
won
is the
last year without the
team.
stats. What if he gets a worse team and puts the numbers up? You have to give him
Yeah.
another year and figure out, be like, hey, it might be worth a gamble to say if we give him the talent and he could put the numbers up and maybe get us 8-9 wins and then eventually make us that playoff team. So
Absolutely. I mean,
and I don't think so. I'm not that high on Minshew. I want him to be successful, but I don't want to this is the guy. I like him. I don't know for sure. I want him to be successful.
I want
60-40,
Minshew
he'll
to be
make it.
successful.
I'm
I
60-40,
want
he'll
Minshew.
make it, but I'm not going to say, yeah, he'll take the job this year. I can't be that confident.
Minshew just has so much swagger and so much moxie. Like I just feel like this is what the NFL needs. Like he kind of reinvigorated like the way I felt about Baker when in his first year. I was like, yo, the NFL needs this guy. Like he has some fucking attitude. Like hell yeah, like the quarterback position needs this. I feel that way with Minshew. Give the guy a chance. Don't try and go into tank mode right away. I don't like that they did what they did with Fournette.
Well, they didn't do anything yet. They didn't do anything yet. He won't quit football. He already signed up to get tested 50 billion times this year. So if worst comes to worst, you keep the guy. I mean, you can say you're not valuable. We cannot keep you on this team if we're going to get this pick, but if we're not going to give you away for nothing. So,
I mean, he's waived at this point. Like he's full on. Like,
oh, is he?
Yeah, he's full on like off the Jags.
Oh, he cleared it. They cleared waivers because I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, if he cleared waivers, I don't think anyone's going to want him, to be honest. Because there's teams that would step in and immediately try to grab a guy like that if they could.
No one traded for him. I don't think that anyone wanted to risk getting rid of draft picks or anything like that, or getting rid of current rostered players. I could see him. I could see him getting picked up. I don't know who the fuck is going to pick him
later,
up.
Maybe. I mean, potentially later, but yeah, it's
like if both Kerryon Johnson and DeAndre Swift go down to Detroit, then Detroit's going to definitely call this guy. Like,
which could happen with their career.
Yeah, that could happen.
Health, I mean, I would be surprised.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he's gonna go to a team where they're just gonna lose like all depth at the position. And I'm like, fuck it, come on. It'll be a team that's like fringe from like making the wild card, and they'll like bring them on or something like that.
I mean, let's just say it's not gonna be a team that has like a stable like the Ravens. I mean, I could go the entire AFC North. They all have like two backs to work with. The Browns, Ravens, Steelers all have the two back system. Maybe if the Bucks fall apart and they need a power back, and because they have all these scat backs, I feel like and these skill backs. Maybe them would be like, okay, we need a power guy. It's close. It's week 8, week 9. Our division is kind of in that point where we're probably going to win it, but we're not going to get the best record. We're going to be on the road. Let's give our power back while we can, Bruce Arians. Come on, let's call Fournette. But yeah, I don't think a team needs him right now. And that's the problem where you have to build your offense around a back like that.
Absolutely. I worry for the future of his career. We're still
I feel like he's in the wrong era. I feel like he could have been Larry Johnson if he was born in that time period.
I don't think it's a wrong era. I think it's point blank.
Because he had all the catches, but he wasn't like a clean catcher of the ball. It was a first down guy. He was not a make you miss guy after the catch. I feel like he was in the wrong era where you give him 21, 23 carries a game, let him eat. And that's what you do. And I feel like that's gone by him.
I think it comes down to honestly, Bears Paul over on Sportscaster. Thanks for the follow. Tim at Bulls Runnings. Appreciate you guys for checking out the stream. I think it comes down to his attitude problem on the field and off the field. Teams are just so put off by it.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that it comes down to that. I think that his skill set is definitely still valuable in today's NFL and what he can bring to a team, bring to an offense. But it's just not. It's not conducive for a locker room environment.
Leafs defense. We might have a conversation about that. So
Yeah, we are about to actually dive right into that. We're steadily rolling with ragging on the Jags right now. Like I said, it looks like they're going to be tanking for Lawrence. Jaguars agreed to trade franchise defensive end Yannick Ngakoue to the Minnesota Vikings for a second and a conditional fifth-round pick that could go as high as a third-round pick. With the playmakers, that this Minnesota Vikings defense now has, is there any excuses as to why they can't finish as a top 5 defense?
they were a top defense at one point. They lost talent and they did struggle last year, but Cousins came on and really showed why he was money. At this point, they could get back to that level, I think, and I'm very convinced they will. If he's motivated, he should be at this point, because the issue there was, I don't think on the ownership end, I really think the Cons tried to help him out, but I think he trashed his own trade value so badly they just had to get rid of him. And I think this kind of helped the team he went to. They have a solid defensive core already. They still do have some money because Diggs was traded. So they re-up him fine. If not, they can actually take a contract on and maybe franchise him. So this is probably the best case for him and the Vikings to get back to it being a good defense. If you're going to lose the offensive talent, I guess put the money in the defensive side of the football and rely on your quarterback next year. If it works out, great. But I think it's the only thing they could have done. And I think he really can't complain because he's going to have free reign on the right side of that line to do what he wants.
No, absolutely. I mean, the Vikings they now have an elite. They now have an elite duos on pretty much all 3 levels of their defense.
Harrison Smith is a very underrated safety.
Yep. Yeah. At safety, you have Harrison Smith and Anthony Harris. Linebacker, you have Eric Kendricks and Anthony Barr. And then for your pass rushers, you have Daniel Hunter and now Yannick Ngakoue. There is absolutely no reason why.
And they were a top 5 defense before, by the way. So why not get back to it?
Yeah, there's no reason why this defense is not enough to give fucking hell, all right, to every team that's in the NFC North. I feel that this defense on paper is significantly better than the offenses that they are going to face. I think that they are going to shut Devontae Adams the fuck down in Green Bay. I feel that Mitchell Trubisky needs to be running for his fucking life. Same with Nick Foles down there in
Nick
Chicago.
Foles is the projected starter, apparently.
Starter, yeah, he's a projected starter right now.
I don't know. I don't know, coach speak. It could be Foles as the backup all the way, and they just went to the teams. But
Nagy, he can't figure out his head from his
honestly,
fucking
it'd be really kind of ridiculous for him to say who his starter is right now and mean it. Like, I would keep teams guessing forever if I could. So I feel like that is completely like a fake statement. He's saying like, "Oh, let's just mess with people and like make people think."
Oh yeah,
because the other guy, maybe it's true. And like, I would not tell the truth till that. Who's the starter? You're gonna find out week 1 after the kickoff. Who I'm starting on offense.
Foles has never played a full fucking 16 games in the NFL. I get that he has a Super Bowl, but he's never played a full fucking 16 games.
Yeah.
Trubisky.
I just think like, all right, he's probably lying, or he's probably just throwing it out there just to troll and be like, I'm going to put somebody out there to start week 1. You won't know who it is till I do.
And that could be the best thing for them, so that way defenses aren't.
I mean, I'm sure the players know, and it's like just keep it to yourself. But we can't let the other team know what we're doing yet.
But I mean, as for the Vikings, I still feel like the defense is going to be significantly better than the offense that they're facing in Chicago. I think the best offense, the most high octane offense they're really going to face. Sure, Aaron Rodgers, whatever. When it comes to that. But the Lions, they got a lot of pieces this year, and it's just going to be a matter of if they can be healthy.
Yep. But I mean, man, it's so weird with the Lions too because Stafford has a broken back. That's a problem. Yeah. That's not good. He probably shouldn't play football anymore with the contract he has.
He's 100% healthy now, so I mean, so they say.
Very underrated, by the way. I've always liked Stafford as a player. I don't know why people rip him apart. I've always loved him as a quarterback, but. You have 2 backs that are also very questionable health-wise.
Yep.
So they could be really good or awful depending on how the injuries go this year.
I think the Vikings are built for success this year. You just got to straighten out things with Dalvin Cook. Make sure you know Dalvin Cook isn't going to hold out on you. I don't think that he is. I think that you're fine with Dalvin Cook. You just restructured left tackle Riley Reef's deal, so you still got your left tackle there. Bitsby Johnson's coming into his own at wide receiver. Justin Jefferson is going to blow the fuck up this year for freshman wide receivers. Mark my words, he's going to be the guy. And then you still got Adam Thielen, stealing Thielen. So, I mean, I think that this team is built for success.
Yep. And the general rule in the NFL for me is I get you need to spread the talent out, and it's ideal. You have on each major defensive spot, you have 4 good players to lead them. I will take a duo of 3 and have questionable defensive backs overall, and if I need to. And if my biggest issue is, will the safeties be able to cover for my corners? That's
the only thing that you're worried about. But you still have Xavier Rhodes.
That's a lot better than worrying about, will my safeties be able to help my corners if they get too confident and aggressive against the number 1 receiver that they're dominating the whole game. Because a mistake is a 30-yard pass that your safety makes a tackle. Now, not a touchdown where you've been burning the guy, that 5-yard rule, you're throwing him to the ground, talking trash, and you're dominating the game, then you get beat by a touchdown. Like, the risk of getting beat down or getting beat as an arrogant cornerback who's dominating the number 1 receiver is a lot greater than having safeties who you trust to make a tackle if they make a mistake. I mean,
I agree.
Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe I'm crazy for saying that, but I just believe, like, if you want to have safeties that can help the corners rather than corners who think they can dominate and get beat deep.
Lee says Falcons, Cowboys, Seahawks, and Packers are the best offenses that Minnesota plays this year. So yeah,
Seahawks might have something. I'm confident that they'll have the receivers, and they're going to have their running backs thing where they put an extra lineman in, which telegraphs the run. But whatever, when you have an extra line, you should gain yards. Packers, you have Aaron Rodgers, and you have the camaraderie with the receivers that are slowing down.
Yep.
Falcons, you're going to have yards and turnovers. So I think they could force turnovers. Cowboys, Dak just kind of puts up yards that I don't even notice he puts up.
Yeah.
Oh, he put up 430 yards? Didn't even notice.
But I think that out of those teams that least defense listed, I think that they can beat the Falcons, they can beat the Cowboys, they can beat the Packers. I think the Seahawks is really the scariest offense there. Like, I think they could go 1 for 1, or they could go 1 for 1 with the Packers.
I think they'll split with the Packers.
Yeah, they'll split with the Packers. I think they can beat the Cowboys. I think they can beat the Falcons. Like, straight up. Like, that's just me being straight up. Steelers defense probably gonna be a top 5 again. That'd be sick. That'd be good. I always end up with the Steelers defense at some point during the season. So
are we talking the who they're playing now in terms of the offenses?
Nah, the
defenses.
Yeah,
we're talking straight defenses. Ooh, you think Browns defense is good, man?
They paid Myles Garrett way too much, and Greedy Williams is not coming into it.
They had to pay Garrett because no one else has a contract on that team. So Baker in the scrimmage went 3 and out, got crushed, which is whatever. I mean, they knew what plays they were running. They were practicing the whole time. You expect the defense to dominate. But when it got to the red zone, the first and second team defense or offense scored 6 straight times in coverage in picking apart the cornerbacks. And they could not stop the run. So, 9 out of 12 plays in the red zone from the 5 ended up being touchdowns. 6 were completions, 3 were runs. The defense got torn apart. But Garrett didn't play because they're holding him off with an injury. They just don't want to get hurt. But still, the first and second team offense for the Browns went 9 for 12 against the Browns defense in the red zone.
Damn.
It's not the weakness for the Browns this year. I get all the hate for Baker, whatever. Is the Browns defense? It's not going to be good.
It's a secondary. It's that secondary, dude. Y'all have no fucking secondary.
It's very young. Mac Wilson was our guy that could kind of help the secondary if he needed to, because he was a freakishly athletic linebacker. He's hurt. It's not good. So I will personally say, if you want to go for overs, probably bet the Browns to be over because the defense is the worst part of that team, and it's bad. Unless Garrett gets like 23 sacks, like Michael Strahan season.
Speaking of defenses, yo, I want to take the time really quick while we got some time in the show. I want to shout out freaking Chase Young just leveling the fuck out of Adrian Peterson. Like, this is now 2 days in a row where he's leveled straight up grown ass men, like straight up grown ass NFL veterans. Like, he leveled Logan Thomas, then the next day turns around and levels Adrian Peterson. Chase Young, you're doing work, and congrats to Dwayne Haskins. It sounds like you're going to be locking down that QB1 role.
Yeah, we'll see what he has, good or bad. You have the draft, you have the you know what you have in him. I want to see him see 16 games of NFL action and see what happens there. And yeah, I mean, you were an Alex Smith guy. I'm like, why don't let my opinion, and I think you've all heard this a million times. I want players to have a chance to fail.
Yep.
Because if he fails this year, Haskins can never say, I deserve a starting job. No, you didn't. You failed. You had your chance. You failed. But you deserve a chance to fail, in my opinion.
And it sounds like he's going to be given that. It sounds like he's going to be given that.
And if I'm an athlete, if I was in any job, it's like, hey, I failed. I was given a chance. I cannot look back and say that I deserve something better. You let me fail. You let me succeed. You put it in my hands, and it didn't work out. My bad. Thank you for the chance, but
I'm 100 with that one.
Give him 16 games, good or bad. And I also think that they're going to give the Dolphins pushing 2 on the field. Be like, here's 12 games, here's 10 games. Prove yourself or don't succeed. We want to figure this out now because if we're bad, there's other quarterbacks that are healthier and have had better history books when it comes to the medical side of things. Like, I think you got to let these young guys fail, and I think there is no way that you should bring back any veteran quarterback to help a young quarterback. You only learn when you're playing, in my opinion, at this point.
Oh yeah, I like it.
Yes, Chase Young is if he gets 10 sacks, I don't see another lineman putting up that production because they're going to be on defense a lot, so he's going to get some chances to pressure the quarterback.
Chase Young is going to be a fucking beast, dude. I'm calling us the Ohio Buckeye Roll Tide fucking Skins because
But do you think he'll get figured out though? Because I don't want to say
it's going to be a hot minute
for like as a player, but he didn't really have to use pass rushing moves. He was just a better athlete.
Yeah,
he was like Brian Orakpo good. I think it's fair to say, and I think you would agree that the Bosa's were much more skilled tactical pass rushers than Chase Young is right now.
Yes. So when I watch film, yes, because the Bosa's have hand movement, they have hand placement. Yeah. That is something that they have been doing since they were fucking 8 years old.
Their dad and their uncles played football.
Yeah. So
they were in the summer camps in the middle of like Carolina, Florida, Georgia, traveling and learning football. But
now, what I've seen in training camp of Chase, I'm not going to deny that he can be at that level of a Bosa's of a.
He can win athletically more than they can and be as productive for a few years. Can he get Can he age like them though? Because Joey Bosa is going to age well with his skill set.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Nick Bosa is a slower, smaller version of Joey, actually, in terms of height.
Little Bear? One Bear, yeah. Shots a Little Bear.
Well, no, he's a bigger guy, bigger frame.
Yeah.
But he's shorter and has less reach and probably is a worse athlete.
His nickname is Little Bear. That's why I went there, yeah.
But yeah, I think his career can last a very long because I don't think he uses athletic ability now. I think he's all technical at this moment, and this might be him his whole career. I don't see him having the peaks of Joey Bosa, but that guy can play in 12 years this way, 15 years this way. Chase Young could have 18 sacks next year on pure athletic ability, I think.
That would be fucking insane.
I could see it, honestly, with this year and having all these young guys coming in. But yeah, Chase Young can rely on athleticism for like maybe 3 years. Am I wrong in saying that? The dude's a freak athlete. So
I can't wait.
Eventually, he's going to have to get more skillful and probably take the Dwight Freeney route when he slows down. Because Dwight Freeney was the same way, where he could just get by you for 4 seasons. And then after that, he got a little bit more skilled because he cannot do it anymore.
Shit, no, I completely agree. I'm excited for this season. We're 10 days away, guys. 10 days away. 10 days away until I get to say the words.
Hey, college is already back, man.
Some of it.
Yeah, FCS or FCS
Yeah.
football championship division.
But 10 more days until I get to use the words. You are now tuned in to
So-
7 hours of commercial-free football action.
So should we take Leafs' statement as fact here? Not knowing how the season will go, they could win 3 games or 13 games. Redskins take Sean Wade next year, like not knowing if they win out or have a great year or bad year.
That would be sick. Like if we could do that early, like we would have the sickest defense in the NFL.
Yeah, but I'm like, oh, you predicting a record that early, so you're predicting they're gonna be bad next year. I don't think they will. I don't think they will be bad next year.
You ever notice that this is the Washington way? Build offense first or build defense first. Wait for offense later. Like
Once
we
you
have
get
done
good offense, you pay your quarterback too much, or you pay everyone around them too much in your defense.
Bro,
Yeah.
this has been this way since motherfucking Patrick Ramsey, okay? I'm going to skip Jason Campbell right now. Since Patrick Ramsey was our quarterback, all right? Let's go to the next topic. I'm going to get frustrated. Oh, I'm going to cry.
Why would you be mad being a Redskins fan? You're so successful at getting running backs garbage running yards and touchdowns.
I'm mad because we care about rings.
I'm kidding. Whenever I think of Redskins, I think of running backs getting garbage yards and touchdowns that help me in fantasy, but I don't.
Whenever I think of the Redskins, I think of 27 fucking years without a ring, okay? That's like being in a marriage that you're not happy in anymore, but you know what? You're still in it. I know you have none.
27.
Yeah.
The Browns.
I know.
Yeah, see? He said it too.
He was like, fuck!
He said it too. He knows.
No, that was so great!
Yeah, that was really time. He knows. 27 years? I would take 27 years. I don't think I could watch the Browns' last championship run. It was so long ago. It probably wasn't on TV.
No, I don't
It was
even
just
think
in
it
the news.
was.
It might not happen, actually. We might not know it ever happened.
Like,
It could have been like fake news, like the Browns just made up they won 8 straight. Who knows?
Didn't you make the wild card when Couch was your quarterback?
He was not the quarterback, but he was on the
He
team.
wasn't. He was on the team. Okay.
He broke his leg, and then he got good. But yes, it could have been fake news. The Browns never won those titles, and we made them up, honestly, because you can't even watch them on TV anymore. That's how
you guys do have the most historical game of littering ever. Bottlegate was great.
Fan. I'm a Browns fan, and you take that name of Depressed out, and you could put my name there and put Browns because.
Like you guys are known for Bottlegate, so I mean, that's interesting as fuck for NFL history.
Yeah, don't throw stuff at referees. It doesn't help anything. The call was not reversed, by the way.
No, I know it wasn't reversed. You threw all this fucking glass on the field, all those beer bottles on the field for nothing to happen.
Him, by the way, the Browns fans almost killed that
guy. Yeah, they almost
dude,
killed that ref,
which is awful. Yeah, don't riot at a sports event and get everyone kicked out, and then find out, oh yeah, it doesn't help when the announcement's made and you almost kill a guy.
Soccer fans do it all the time.
Yes, you gotta love the Browns go in 16 and draft Myles Garrett. I was not actually mad about that, believe it or not.
Let's see here. Bud Light announces. Bud Light, give me money. Bud Light announces the Garner Minshew Fantasy Football Initiative. Basically, what this initiative states is if you draft the quarterback in the first round, you are entered for a chance to win a whole ass case worth of Bud Light. Would you draft the quarterback in the first round for a case of Bud Light?
Dude spamming in free leagues they're not paying for and just drafting this dude just for the beer stash for the season, because nobody with half a brain's gonna draft a quarterback first round unless you somehow love Patrick Mahomes so much and think he's gonna get like 59 touchdowns this year,
bro,
and like 5,500 yards.
What's scary as fuck is in this competition.
Hold on, Robbie. We got to acknowledge this comment of me looking like Fred VanVleet.
You do. Fucking make you a little bit more light skinned. Straighten your hair up a little bit. Shit.
Yeah, dude, my hair is super long right now.
Oh
ridiculous.
God.
But what?
But yeah, like I don't.
I would say, wow. Okay.
Fuck, no. I'm done.
I do not look like a mixed dude. I don't think I at all look mixed in any way. I've heard Post Malone, but I think I'm a smaller friend than Post Malone.
But nah, dude, like, fuck yeah, we drawn some tattoos on your face. We've done the Post Malone joke on here before.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
We're gonna reface app you. We're gonna reface app you into a fucking Post Malone
My hair
video.
will get there eventually. It's already like this long, and it's like dragging my.
But nah, so I mean, would you so I want to know the ins and outs of this. Like, do I win a couple of cases of Bud Light? Like, do I win like?
I think you get 8 cases in 30. A case is 30 to my knowledge, and I don't drink Bud Light, but I know it was 30 in college. When I heard case, it was you were getting a 30 pack. So
yeah, you get.
If you want to go in some so if you're a Bud Light, do you verify it's not a troll and have like all your buddies get like you get 12 of your boys, you all take different drafts and you all get like 12 cases of total Bud Light for your games, and as you watch with your boys, and you're like, we have 360 beers right here because we trolled Bud Light. Can you do that? Because
I guess
people are gonna do that. You know that, right?
Oh, dude, there's definitely some guy that when this got announced that told all his
friends, they're gonna get like 363 beers and be like, oh, see, we don't even care about this league. You distracted this guy first.
My thing is, I don't give a damn. Like you would have had like Bud Light if you offered me a case for a whole lifetime. Like I would get a case once every like 2 weeks or some shit. Yo, I would draft the fuck out of Gardner Minshew in every single league. It was in the first round.
I would take a case of these, but
yeah, for sure. Give me a lot of
borderline over $1,000.
But I mean, for real though, like I don't think that there's any scenario where I'm taking a QB in the first round that is not named Lamar Jackson.
Unless you're a Kansas City fan that loves the idea that you're going to get 58 to 60 touchdown passes and like 6,000 yards from Mahomes, which could happen with no fans or very few fans, because that offense with no fans to mess with their communication might be ridiculous. So,
I mean, we'll see like how this plays out. Bud Light clearly chose the quarterback that that has the best marketing for them right now. You know, you got the Minshew mustache, you got Minshew mania. People went crazy last year over Minshew. Fucking like you clearly chose a guy that you also know that a lot of fantasy football players are not going to draft in the first round. I love a Minshew DJ Shark stack, but that's in 2 QB leagues, and I'm not drafting that second QB. Gardner Minshew would be QB2. He would be QB2, and he wouldn't be drafted until like the fucking 12th round. Like,
so, unless you're a top 5 quarterback, you're looking I would say most leagues are relatively deep, right? 7 to 12. I mean, I don't know. Unless you're really competitive with people who really care, I don't think you're going to get people that, like those 5 people that really want to win. So, yeah, there's people putting quarterbacks that I would say are going to put up crazy numbers, but quarterbacks in fantasy don't really get the value. Just how it is. Like, people are talking Rodgers 6th, 7th round as Packers fans. Like, dude, you don't need a quarterback early. Everyone loads up on backs and receivers. Like, first round for Minshew, there's no way.
There's no way. Like, am I drunk heading into this draft before I pick?
Do you have to put money on the draft? I think there's got to be something there where you got to prove you're betting with your friends on this one.
Yeah.
You gotta have some license, legit, okay, this is what we're doing. We all signed, and this is 100% stamped, legit. We are going to give $100 to the winner. Second place gets 50. Whatever
Can you imagine every other guy?
If you're gonna get free drafts here, or just a free league, and say, yeah, people are gonna troll and draft Minshew first for the free beer, 100%.
Oh yeah,
because it means nothing. And what is it? Only sleepers? Is it only another league? I'm not sure.
I don't even know what platform it has to be on. Like can I just draft?
Yeah,
can I just do it?
And
because
watch he be trash, and it means nothing, and he gets literally hurt or benched. It's like,
look,
well,
if they say I can get like a case like every 2 weeks or some shit, like if it's just like one case of beer, like fuck it, I'll go buy a case of
the
beer so I
Browns
don't
had
lose my
that when
league.
Baker came in and like really energized the city. And to this day, people still like Baker. By the way, I mean in
Oh,
Cleveland,
I love Baker.
he had a bad year. I get it, but I mean, second year quarterback, sophomore slump, whatever. And like they were like, oh, we have this fridge of like Bud Light. When the Browns win a game, Baker comes in and wins a game. It's like, do you really want that Bud Light? That thing's been sitting there for a long time.
Yo, people drank that fucking Bud Light. Like I remember watching the YouTube
Yeah, and I
videos.
was like, do you really want that? Just go to a bar.
People were taking baths in that fucking old ass Bud
I
Light.
know. And I'm like, that thing's probably 18 months old for a reason, because that was put out there when the Browns last won their game. So
Yeah.
and I was
Bro.
like, that's gross. I would not touch that. It was in the sun all day. It was off the bridge from the highway. You don't want to know what that beer was around.
I do. I really do. like I
Let's
will.
not test that one. Let's not put the collagen on that one. I do not want to see what that beer is going through.
Look, if I can make it through fucking deployments in college.
Chance said Baker sophomore slump. I think he'll be good enough to I think they'll throw a lot less, and I think they'll put up touchdowns.
I think him and OBJ are going to go off. I think him and OBJ
I don't
are
think they're
going
going
to
to throw that
throw.
much, dude. I think they're going to probably cut Baker's attempts from 34 to 28, and I think they're going to rely on the two heavy backs. We have two good backs, and I don't think they're going to. I mean, what? I'm thinking about this now. They're going to run the ball probably 8 times more a game, and that's going to take 8 plays away from Baker. So
We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I want to get into some injury updates really quick. I have 2 updates here that actually happened before we went on air. But I want to go ahead and give you guys. I have 3 actually. One of the updates is not really an update. You guys have all known about Derwin James.
6 to 8, right?
Dude, 6 to fucking 8 weeks. This poor kid cannot catch a fucking break in the NFL. He was injured last year, bro.
I want to joke about this, but it is super mean, but I don't care. I will. The joke was the dude didn't have any hands. The dude has no legs.
The dude has no fucking legs, bro.
The dude cannot catch in college, and the dude can't run in the NFL. It's 100% true.
6 to 8 weeks out for Derwin James. This comes this news dropped yesterday. He's going to be needing knee surgery. This greatly is going to adversely affect. Okay, I don't want to use the word adversely because that can mean a lot of different things when we talk about this particular when we talk about this particular defense. I think it's a meniscus. Hang on, I have the official statement.
Yeah.
If you want to take over,
if it's a meniscus, I don't understand why athletes do this, especially in this year where all these players are not going to have fans and they're taking a pay cut. Obviously, sponsors are leaving, right? Because they're not going to be able to advertise to fans because there's no fans. Sit out because that meniscus surgery to get you back in 6 to 8 weeks is pulling out your meniscus and causing arthritis.
Yep.
Long term. Sit out, get it repaired. Don't get it removed. Don't get Dwayne Wade.
Yep. So this is the statement from the team and the team's medical doctor. Don't worry about how the fuck I got my hands on this statement, okay? Look, doctor-patient confidentiality went out the window here. Safety Derwin. So this is all that we know, and this is from the physician. Safety Derwin James suffered a right knee injury during yesterday's practice.
Injury. Okay.
Yep. James will continue to be evaluated, and time frame for his return has not yet been determined, but we do know that now that is a 6 to 8 week determination following the physician's original prognosis.
So they don't have to announce it until week 1, technically. So
Exactly. So
if it's 6 to 8 weeks, it's probably meniscus. Not gonna lie.
I think that it is a meniscus.
Because
they won't release what it is.
If it's like a situation with Mac Wilson where it's like a legit kneecap dislocation, you know it's longer. If it's 6 to 8 weeks, it's pretty standard. But again, I don't know why NFL players who are at his level want to come back. Don't get it removed, get it repaired, take the time to rest. It ruins careers, and I think it's ridiculous at his point because he's not up for a second contract. He has a year left, right?
Yeah, he has.
So come back next year. Yeah, come back next year and figure it out. Like he'll probably get it removed and probably ruin his career. But
Yeah, I know he's coming up. I know he's coming up on renegotiation. So he does have to get this injury repaired, perform, and then I think that the next year is when he'd be up for negotiation, and then the Chargers could decide whether or not to pick up the 5th-year option.
Don't get it. Yeah, just sit the year out. Take the 12. I really don't understand why athletes, and it's always their choice too, because they have their personal doctors, and they get paid well enough with their, especially him at his level, they get paid well enough to have their personal doctors and take the time off. Like, I don't know why they rush back and get their meniscus removed. It never works out well for them long term.
No. But we wish the best during the segment. We wish the best to all the players that we're talking about during the Rum Report injury report. But first, we start off with Derwin James. The Raiders have placed wide receiver Tyrell Williams on IR, ending his season. That report does come from Phil Yates. Adam Schefter lets us know that that Williams will be undergoing surgery on his torn labrum later this month, and that's going to be a sideline of the whole season.
That is longer than season.
It's a total of 6 months.
Yeah. Man, Derek Carr better have that run game. I guess Jacobs better get ready to carry some footballs this year.
Jacobs going to have to be ready to pound the rock, in which I'm fully confident in the young man.
He's going to have to at this point because that's not something you want to hear.
Henry Ruggs. This is going to put pressure on the passing game on Bryan Edwards and Henry Ruggs. If you have stocks of Henry Ruggs or Bryan Edwards, increase them.
Especially in like dynasty leagues too, because a lot of guys drafted them late.
Oh yeah,
they'll be there. If you're in a dynasty league right now, you probably. I can't say you're loving this because I don't like seeing a dude probably.
Yeah, I don't like seeing anyone hurt.
Because I mean, at that point, if you have that much depth and the injury's that bad, it's really hard to come back as a receiver when you have to be able to move your arms. In that way, but yeah, I mean, you definitely have to love those picks if you're truthers for those players.
Yeah, I say that you guys can probably make one of those two receivers. Well, I'll let you guys know as we get closer week one which one. I'll follow some reports from training camp to see how the offense is affected following Williams. I'm definitely starting Waller if I have him week one, right? Because we know that he's probably going to be heavily relied on. A lot of passes are going to go to the tight end. Ruggs might pop out week one and get you a speedster, Tyreek Hill style, Mecole Hardman style type of touchdown just because he is that fast. And he can break away from corners that well, create separation. Bryan Edwards, big body guy, he can catch the ball at the highest point of the pass throughout the duration of his route. So I really like Bryan Edwards. There's a lot of question marks in terms of the receiving game. The only clear-cut decision right now that you should be relying on is Darren Waller. If you had Tyrell Williams, you probably drafted him stupid fucking late, and you probably weren't going to be starting him anyways. So I don't know how this is going to affect your fantasy team. But if you have Ruggs, Edwards, or Waller, this is seriously going to elevate your fantasy team even more, and Waller even more so. Check out my tight end rankings. You'll see where I have Waller. Yeah, I agree. Ruggs on jet sweep plays. That's going to be awesome. Let's see here. And then we have one final injury to report on today's show. Panthers tight end Ian Thomas suffered a toe injury on Monday. X-rays came back negative, and Coach Matt Rule said Thomas would be back soon. Thomas became the primary receiving tight end after the Panthers moved on from Greg Olsen. Jake, thoughts on this? Because they have no pass across the middle.
So when soon is, because to my knowledge, turf toe is not something that you find in X-rays. It's just something you deal with, and it really slows players down. So if it's that, yeah, I would look a different direction. I doubt many people have had a serious draft anytime recently. I think people are really waiting until last second, especially now.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, I would
keep going. I gotta go piss.
I would guess that you kind of stay true if you did pick the certain player that in this case is injured with something that isn't in the X-rays. But You have to see if it's turf toe eventually. That comes out. You probably have to go a different direction for sure. And from there, I don't know what you're going to find because it's pretty late. Okay, Cam Phillips, maybe. Yeah, maybe some touchdowns there with a new quarterback. But yeah, you're going to have to look somewhere else if it is turf toe. I do want to. I mean, I can't really say much about it until I know exactly what this injury is. But if it's turf toe, look a different direction. Because turf toe is a season-long injury that just slows a player down.
If I'm an Ian Thomas owner, let's say that you're in a fantasy
Cam
league,
Phillips,
right?
I mean, Leafs said threw Cam Phillips out there, which is it could be a new quarterback, new presence, touchdown guy. I mean, it makes sense, but I mean, it makes sense because you're looking at a guy that probably isn't taken very high and might be available for a trade. But
You don't need Cam Phillips. Teddy Bridgewater is going to do perfectly fine. I hope that Cam Phillips gets a chance to play at some point, though. But that means I'd have to risk injury on Bridgewater, which would suck dick.
you're always risking an injury if you have Bridgewater as the quarterback for your receiver.
This is true.
The dude snapped his leg in like 8 pieces on a drop back.
In regards to Ian Thomas,
it literally happened. We saw his leg bend in like 8 pieces on a drop back.
That shit sucked. Bridgewater did come back.
That was one of the worst injuries I've ever seen in my life.
But he did come back and ball.
In the playoffs, I was like, oh, everybody saw that. No hiding that. He was 8 yards from everybody else, and his leg just folded on him.
Hey, but now he's got to start a job back with the new team.
$20 million? Cam Newton's getting $1 million?
Exactly. Bridgewater's got to be pretty fucking happy right now. But no, I mean, in regards, though, to the Ian Thomas injury, hopefully this doesn't take him out very long. For Ian Thomas owners, I don't think that it's going to take him out very long. So I wouldn't panic too much there. I have always been fading Ian Thomas. I always have. I feel like he's just best as a guy that you get off of waivers here and there. But if you're going to roll out there and you're going to start him, because I see a lot of you guys are doing that. A lot of you that have passed on, getting those more solid tight ends. I wish you the best. I don't think that this is going to be the end. The end
I have
of
a question about this, and I always wondered why the hype around any of these, like, I guess not new quarterbacks, but new starters being comfortable with the tight end and throwing to that side of the field or the center of the field. You have a coach in Matt Rule and a passing coordinator in LSU that was not known for using the tight end to throw to.
Yeah.
And that's something I've always questioned when with the hype, because he had some production and he had some energy around him, but like the people involved with this passing game and the offense overall are both college guys who probably have not had a tight end on the field besides Thaddeus Moss blocking for running backs. Which is a concern for me, where it's like, I don't know if they use running backs, and I don't know how their offense will be in the NFL, and if they'll learn to use a tight end, but they haven't. So that is something that I'd question to begin with.
Yeah, I didn't see this team utilizing the position heavily much anyways, especially departing from Olsen. I mean, that puts a lot of pressure on Thomas. I don't think that Thomas was going to stay healthy a full season anyways, to be honest. I kind of put him in that same category as a Chris Herndon, where you don't really know exactly what goes up, what goes down. That's another injury guy too, is Herndon. I'm fading him in all of my leagues. If you have a DJ Moore,
Steelers fan, you have no faith in the quarterback play for the Panthers. I like Bridgewater, actually.
Yeah, I don't think that Bridgewater. I think
Bridgewater's going to get 9. He can get 8-9 wins.
No, six in that division. Because you're going to lose to Brady twice and you're going to lose to Breeze twice.
Ooh.
So I don't.
One of those two might fall off. I think one of those two might fall off a little bit. I don't know which one, but the age, one of those two might not be what we expect right now.
Just remember that you said that, because I'm going to challenge you on that during the season.
Okay, fine. Max Kellerman, Brady's falling off a cliff. There we go.
All right, fine. You want to fucking do it? Let's do it. Fine. I will have it.
I got the elder statesman J Love on my side. Brady was not great last year. He's going to a new system. J Love.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
No, I do think somebody will be disappointed in that division, and I could see them being probably second. Potential. I mean, two aging quarterbacks, man. It's hard for me to think they're both going to get through this season, especially with how weird it all is. I mean, Brady and Breeze probably have their like Phil Jackson like super meta preparation. Especially Brady, we know for a fact does that weird stuff. But,
Yeah, his
I
avocado
don't
ice
think that's gonna
cream.
be clear with COVID. I don't think they're gonna let him have like 8 trainers around him all the time.
I mean, we'll see, dude. We'll see. I'm super pumped. I'm super pumped. But I mean, Ian Thomas definitely, him being injured currently, it inflates the rest of your players for the Carolina Panthers on that offense. I didn't think he was going to be a big piece, anyways, and a big scoring piece for you, anyways, in fantasy. So that's
So
really how I
let's
just
do a little
honestly feel.
rivalry debate here, I guess.
But
Howard
yeah,
or Thomas? Because I'm not high on either, but I might slightly lean Howard actually, which is surprising.
I
'Cause I'm
might
not.
slightly lean Howard because you have Gronk there to open up your ability on a two tight end spread
And
to
Brady
for you to
loves
get
the
the
two
ball.
tight end system.
Exactly.
So
So
and that's tough. I mean, if I'm saying I think Howard cannot produce a player, probably means my faith is not good in that
in
situation.
that player, my faith has never been good in Ian Thomas. I've pulled Ian Thomas off of waivers a few times, and that's been as good as
Yeah.
he's gotten. He'll be there for like a week or for a game, and I may even pull him off of waivers, and he'll never even start that game. Like I'll find a better option to start in his place. So we'll see how that unfolds. Hopefully, you guys are taking my tight end rankings into consideration. You guys are drafting higher than going to get Ian Thomas. You're getting like a Mike Gesicki or something like that in those later rounds. Hell, I'll take Blake Jarwin over fucking Ian Thomas. Um, let's roll into our pick'ems for this evening. We only have two, and we're just going to be wrapping up the first round of the Western. Fuck, god damn it, of the Western Conference playoffs. Um, the Jazz take on the Nuggets tonight in a Game 7 of the first round of the NBA bubble playoffs in Orlando. Who will get to advance to the semis to take on the Clippers, and why, Jake?
Um, I mean, the NBA is a guards game. At this point in time, I think basketball's a guards game. I got to go
Yeah.
with Donovan Mitchell on this one as a non NBA fan or non NBA viewer. Got to go with Mitchell. Yeah, I just don't. I think this is kind of what I guess I can't say this is big lights time because there's no lights here in a high school arena. But
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of, I love to say that right now to be like you're in front of like 14 to 18,000 fans, be in front of nobody right now. But I mean, this is kind of his moment to advance in the playoffs and maybe do more. I think a few years ago was the Nuggets time, but yes, Jamal Murray. I was gonna bring that one up. I think I see Jamal Murray not outproducing Mitchell at this point, and I think Mitchell can go off at any point, and I think he has the potential to go off and have a complete game more than Jamal Murray ever does.
So what's crazy in these series in this particular series is that both of these gentlemen, the guards that you talked about, Donovan Mitchell and Jamal Murray, they're going to be the deciding factors in who wins this game.
But I think Mitchell's more versatile, and
I
Murray is a lot more one-dimensional.
Yeah, I
His
do
only
believe
pass
so.
is I'm going to lob it up to my beast big man, and he's going to make a move and score. Like I don't think he's the distributor. I believe Murray's a guy that can give me 28 a game in his prime, and give me 2.5 assists
Yeah,
to the big guy down low.
I mean,
Like
I'm
Melo
looking
type
at
thing. I think Mitchell is a guy that can give me 24 to 25, 6 and 6 consistently, and eventually give me a ridiculous game of like 32, 8 and 8.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. I want to put this out there really quick for all the people that are going to be playing some DFS tonight. That are trying to win some cash over on monkeyknifefight.com. You can easily take both of these guards for the over. They will both probably put up 40 points.
They might take 30 shots. Let's be real.
Yeah,
What the big moment is, they might each put up 30 shots, which if you can't put up points or stats with that.
I mean, both these guys have had games where they're putting up, one will put up 50, one will put up 40. Both these guys have had huge games throughout this whole series. Mitchell now becoming the leading scorer in Jazz history. I believe that he did pass Karl Malone.
Wait,
Look,
averages?
I think for playoffs, for most points in a playoff game.
Okay. Yeah. What to say? Maybe for average, because I'm going to say
like
Malone's like
in a
third.
series.
Malone is like more points than Jordan, and he's like
Malone is
only
fucking
behind
crazy.
Kareem. Yeah,
I think it was like a franchise
he's
record.
pretty much untouchable besides LeBron.
Yeah,
and in
I think it was
playoffs,
like
he
a
was always
franchise
there.
record. It's like a franchise record where Mitchell has
Yeah,
finally
put up 61. I think
Yeah.
Malone put up like 58, and they said or something.
So I
At one
mean,
point.
this is going to be a crazy Game 7 tonight. I'm definitely going to be tuned in. I'm excited for it, but I do have to give you guys my pick to end my tape, and I am going to pick the Nuggets by 3.
All
The
right.
Nuggets by 3.
And you don't care because who they're playing, you're going to pick against them anyways.
I mean, I fucking hate the Jazz, but I mean, I entered this series picking the Nuggets in 7 anyways.
Yeah.
I didn't think that Utah was going to be as good as they are this series. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I didn't think that Utah was going to be a good team just at all.
I don't watch basketball anymore, and I could have told you Donovan Mitchell could carry a series, man. Mitchell snapped when he got into the league.
Mitchell.
I could have told you the second he played before, like, I stopped watching the NBA for personal reasons. Like, this dude's gonna be good. Like, I could tell this guy has it over Ben Simmons. And I was like, okay, this guy has something Ben Simmons doesn't, and this guy can change the league. So
now that I did know about Mitchell over Simmons, and I do agree with our final pick'em for the night. This game tips off tomorrow. The Thunder versus the Rockets tomorrow. Who advances to take on the Lakers and why?
Please tell me somehow Harden and Westbrook get embarrassed. I would love it so much to see this happen. And like, you traded me to the city you thought that would never win, and I beat you in a playoff series. Love it for Chris Paul, just to laugh at them, be like, "See ya, get out of here. You thought you were gonna send me here and never do anything. Well, I beat you in the playoffs, kick you out of here. I will personally pay the bell guy to take your hotel luggage out of there and be like, hey, so, yeah, remember when you traded me to get rid of me and like bury my career? Oh, we beat you. I'd love to see it, and I might watch the next series or the post game interview to see Chris Paul troll Westbrook and Harden.
So I can't disagree, but my pick is different.
Right. No, my pick is different for sure. But
yeah.
I would love to see it happen. But yeah, I do think the 2 stars versus 1 is going to come into play. But I would love to see Chris Paul be able to troll them so hard.
What I want versus what I did as an analyst are 2 totally different things. What I want as just a person, so someone who does not do this as a job, okay, just as a person, I want OKC to win just because I don't like Harden or Westbrook there. Like, I don't like a style of ball that the Houston Rockets play, to be honest. Like, I'm not a fan of
extremes that are hard to like.
Yeah.
Westbrook is undisciplined. I would say it doesn't look like he actually practices basketball, but he does, obviously. But he just looks so uncoordinated when he plays basketball, but just a great athlete. And Harden looks like, I will not work out in any way, but I will manipulate the rules in my favor to get to the free throw line. So it's like the 2 ultimate ways I don't want to watch a basketball player play basketball.
They live by the 3 and they die by the 3. I hate that style of play. I cannot stand that, honestly. Like, it looks good when the Warriors do it. Like, when the Warriors do it, it looks great because they hit those 3s. But, like, with the Rockets, you
got to hit 38 to 42% to make that play style look good.
Exactly. You know, and the Rockets, they're just not – They do it some nights, and some nights they don't. Like, you never know which team you're getting. I hate James Harden with the way that, he has to, in order for him to have a good game and to be an effective player, he has to go to the free throw line. He has to be fouled. That I don't like. I picked the Rockets because I feel that they are.
I do think they're going to win, but I, as a non-fan of the NBA, want to see Chris Paul be able to troll him so hard. And just be like, you traded me to this place you thought my career would die, and I just buried your season right now.
Yeah, I
against you guys in the first round. Take that, and I'd love to see it, but I don't know.
Dude, I just want to see. I just want to see like I'll gladly take getting this prediction wrong, when it comes to the Rockets, and OKC wins, if it means that I don't have to hear James Harden fangirls on Twitter all damn day.
Well, again, as somebody who just kind of understands what NBA fans think of Harden, this would probably solidify more than anything. His style of play is not playoff basketball and will not win
Exactly.
playoffs. But
you're not
versus
gonna.
Burns is official. I figured, like, is it probably early 2021? They're booked till like December, and they take Christmas off. So
Masvidal Diaz in the works. I think I did hear something about that.
I think Masvidal. That's the only fight. It's out of McGregor. I don't think he's gonna fight for a title.
Yeah.
Again, so.
Other than that, then there's nothing else for Masvidal to really do. And Usman Burns is official. Fuck Usman.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care. Usman's so not entertaining. I'm
Usman?
done. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done calling Usman fights. If you guys ask me to call a Usman fight, I'm probably not going to do it. It doesn't matter who he faces.
So do you agree with Askren's take on Marty Fake Snoozman? He calls him.
Oh my
boring
god!
fighter, but coming from Askren, who's more boring than him, it makes
Askren just gets knocked the fuck out, so it doesn't matter what Ben Askren says.
Askren, when he was in his prime, like in his 20s, was like a only wrestler and would just submit people, which is probably just as boring. But he called him Marty Fake Snoozman because it was hilarious because he was so boring to watch fight. I was like, you're not wrong, but coming from you, you were just as boring.
You were just as boring.
So you probably can't say it.
Yeah, Usman by decision. Yeah.
I think Usman's bigger. I mean, Burns is a 155er that ballooned up and is just a smaller fighter than him. But yeah. Man, 170 is not going to take life until we figure out what happens with the next generation because Usman is a great fighter. I'm not taking that away from him, and nobody can.
But somebody more electrifying is going to come in and whoop his ass and make the.
How about Kumzat, the guy that didn't get hit in 2 fights and stopped 2 guys on the ground? But no, that's like 3 years away, man. I don't think he's ready for the Colby Covingtons or Leon Edwards yet. But yeah, I mean, if Usman wins this fight, it'll be Edwards, and then from there it'll be a few more guys that no one cares about. Well, I care about, but most fans will be like, "Why would I watch him fight?"
Whatever, yeah.
But they're waiting for Kumzat for sure to come up and.
Izzy versus Costa is definitely going to be amazing. We can't wait. We're going to be calling action for that fight.
25-foot cage, guys. So when you make your bets, think about that. It's harder to counter-strike in a 25-foot cage than it is 35.
Yep. John Jones tweeted to Brock he would whoop him.
Of course he did. John Jones won't happen.
Yeah,
John Jones is going to take the winner of Stipe and Ngannou.
After New Mexico, John Jones is clout chasing to be a good guy in people's eyes. Honestly, I feel like he deep down wants that. Ladies and gentlemen,
the New Mexico, I got arrested and cleared in like 3 hours incident.
Yeah, after that, dude, he's acted. He's
done it like 4 times. He's gotten in trouble, and then he I changed, whatever, and then he goes back and
this time, like I don't think that he really changed, but like this time it seemed like different. Like it was like he became like super empathetic to like just like the world.
Well, he knew that he probably lost that last fight, or I think he won the fight, and he also knew that like I can't get away with not being a good person because my fighting style is not as fun, so people don't want to see me fight anymore.
Yeah, so I think
they'll gladly not watch me fight just because I'm not a good person. So he has to really change his tune. But I mean, heavyweight, man, I'm watching his next fight.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like I don't care. I want to see him at heavyweight. I wanted to see it years ago. So it doesn't make sense for me to be like, yeah, dude, John Jones, do what you want, man. You're gonna fight at heavyweight for a title. I think everyone's gonna be there. So.
But ladies and gentlemen, this has
fighting Brock. No. Jones is going to wait for the championship chance, and then, man, Brock, if he fights anybody, it's probably going to be some dumb angle with Cain Velasquez because they fought in the WWE, and they fought in the UFC years ago, like 2013. Yeah, Brock does not like getting hit. He even said he does not like actually fighting.
No, I don't see Brock returning. If you guys want to get more takes on their UFC action and what we think, go to the beginning of today's episode. We have plenty more coming for you guys from the Rum Boys Fantasy Network. So make sure you guys stay tuned to everything that we drop because we're constantly dropping new pieces, breaking news. Our up to the minutes are back, so we will be breaking news whenever a big news piece drops. I'll be live for that. we're getting the Rum Report back and rolling here for you guys weekly. Well, that'll be going back now the NFL season is back. That'll be going back to being a weekly thing. Each and every Friday night, Rum Boys After Dark, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You can catch Jake and myself here with the rest of the Rum Boys Fantasy Network crew each and every Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, head over to rumboys.com. Check out some of the articles that Jake writes for the team. Also, check out his merch line. Invest in his merch line, Rum Boys Combat, as well. If you guys are MMA fighters, you're in the gym, you need to be wearing Rum Boys Combat whenever you're sparring, whenever you're getting it in, whenever you're having a workout. That's the fit that you need right there. Rum Boys Combat, as Jake is holding up. Over there, available on rumboys.com only. Promo code RumBoys for free
It's
shipping.
always behind the studio door for a reason.
Always, yeah. Promo code RumBoys in all caps for free shipping on all orders. No price limit. We'll give you free shipping no matter if you just order one thing, two things, three things. We're going to hook you up. Other than that, monkeyknifefight.com, promo code RumBoys for all of your daily fantasy sports action. Whenever you sign up, we're matching deposits all the way up to $50. And Sportsbet MVP, promo code RUM MVP, RUM MVP. Over on sportsbetmvp.ag, your very first bet of $25 is risk free, and we're matching we're matching bets all the way up to I believe what was it $1,000 over there. So yeah, get it in over there. Big shout out to sportscaster.com for allowing us to be able to go live on their platform each and every single day. You can catch us on sportscaster.com. We have something new dropping for you guys. Other than that, yo, Jake, cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rum Boys and girls, what to do? Dilly dilly. Hey, play my outro. We out of here, y'all. Peace.
Holy shit.